A couple of years ago, I was the keynote speaker at a conference in Columbus, Georgia. Although I've been to every state in the United States speaking, I have never been to Columbus, Georgia. So the conference was being held in a really historic hotel that had been, I guess, renovated to its original glory. And it was beautiful. The city was just gorgeous. And the people that I met were just absolutely wonderful. So I'd enjoyed my time. I had walked down some of the streets and eaten outdoors at a nice restaurant and had really enjoyed myself the evening before the day that I was going to present. So I get to my room that night and I am making sure that I have everything ready for the presentation tomorrow. And I finally get ready for bed and I decide I'm going to watch a little TV. So I turn it down low, and then I realized I really didn't, there was nothing I wanted to watch. So I got a book out and began reading. So as I'm laying there, and it's about probably 11 o'clock at night, I'm laying there reading, and all of a sudden I hear the mournful sound of an old train, and you can hear it. It starts blowing its horn at the very edge of town, and you can feel it coming by. And I thought, how neat. And of course, I thought of, Johnny Cash's song, I hear the train coming around the bend. And I'm laying there thinking of that, and the train's getting closer and closer, and that horn's getting louder. And I'm thinking, wow, that train must be pretty close. And as it gets closer and closer, I mean, the horn is just blaring, and all of a sudden, the room begins shaking, and my body begins shaking. I'm thinking, man, that train has got to be just right outside. So I get up to the window and I look out the window, and sure enough, there's a street, and right across the street is the railroad tracks, and here comes that train. And by this time the horn is so loud, and the vibration of the entire building is so loud you could not speak or hear anything if you had someone in the room with you. I mean, it was just absolutely unbelievable. So the train finally goes past the hotel, and I hear it leaving the city, and I'm thinking, man, that was something. And I'm hoping that it's not going to come, another train is going to come by later in the night, which of course it does at 4 o'clock in the morning, but that's a whole other story too. So as I get back and to lay on the bed and I'm reading, my phone rings, and the landline, very rarely who calls on a landline. So I'm thinking, well, something must be up. So it is the lady at the desk, and she says, Miss Selman. She said, I'm so sorry to bother you this late in the evening, but I need to ask you a question. And I said, well, sure. And she said, by any chance, are you playing a guitar? And I said, no, I'm not. And I said, why? She said, well, we have had some complaints about someone playing a guitar, and they say that it seems to be coming from your room. And I said, well, I play the guitar, but I did not bring one with me. And I said, it is definitely not coming from my room. And so she says, well, thank you so much. And I'm so bored. She said, do you hear it? I said, no, I don't hear a guitar playing anywhere. So she said, I'll apologize for having bothered me. And she hangs up. And as I'm laying there, I'm thinking, someone called in about a guitar playing. And I lay there and I think, did they not hear that train that just came through? And it just got me to thinking, we strain at the small things. We worry about the small things. I'm thinking, here is someone that the guitar playing was so bothersome that they called and complained about it. But they let the train go right on through, and it just about knocked the walls down. So, people sweat the small stuff, and they ignore the big elephant in the room. And I'm not sure I understand why that happens, but I know the stress that is involved when you sweat that small stuff, where you worry and just pick at all the little things so much to where that you almost cannot function. You know what? I don't sweat the small stuff. Won't you join me just for this week?